Hey, Sharnold.
Yeah, Zach.
I have a question. You know how I'm always complaining about how Marvel makes too much sense and how all the comics are just too run-of-the-mill, too ordinary? Often I'll say, oh, I totally understand what's going on here. I need something just fuckballs crazy. Do you have any, fun information about Galactus? Go! Random bullshit, go! Well, when you put it like that, I don't have an argument for you.
Depending on what year it is and who's writing the story.
God. Spoiler alert.
Delicious.
That's phonetically confusing. I liked it more the other way when it was fuck balls crazy.
What was the point of any of this?
I don't fucking know.
Yay!
Yay! Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Doombots Marvel Podcast. We're your Doombots. I'm Zach.
And I'm Sharnold.
And this is the best Marvel podcast on the internet.
Depending on how you define best.
And this week we are defining best.
I'm refusing to define best.
Oh, okay.
Because it's so far beyond your comprehension that the words are meaningless.
The topic or the definition of the word best?
Whichever.
Okay.
Just everything.
Got it.
You're real dumb.
Okay. No, yeah, thank you.
So everything is beyond your comprehension.
Beyond my comprehension.
Yeah.
And you're not talking about the royal we, like the listener. You mean me specifically.
I specifically was talking about you, yeah.
All right. Well,
no, our listeners are great.
Yeah. I mean, go fuck yourself. To be fair, you're only lashing out because it's a preemptive thing.
It is.
Because you know...
Oh, I know what's coming.
You know what's coming. I don't know what's coming, in terms of the topic, but I do know what's coming in terms of me being unhappy about it.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Galactus.
Great.
Which is, he's a giant purple man that eats planets. Like, everybody knows he's a very basic character that everyone is very familiar with.
Sure.
Super straightforward.
I can tell you the non-straightforward things that I know about Galactus real quick.
Yes, that's a good way to start.
Okay, so, as I was baffled once to find out, Galactus looks the way he looks because people see different things based on what they want to see, but for some reason most people see exactly the same thing, which is a man with a very specifically designed helmet.
Correct.
Okay, but that's just them seeing that specifically designed helmet.
So in the comic where they first mentioned that other people see him differently, they were specifically talking about different species. So it might only be that different species see him differently, not necessarily every person.
Or maybe different species see their species, but in the same stupid hat and purple outfit. No, but I mean honestly, And as my wife asked, so he could look like a horse.
He might.
Which, I mean, is a perfectly valid question.
Especially if he was trying to eat Kymelia.
Uh-huh.
Because the Kymelians are a horse race.
Oh, yeah, okay. I figured through context that's what that meant, but I wasn't going to pretend like I knew what that meant. The other thing that I know about Galactus, other than, the basics of he eats planets, he's got a herald who is,
his name is Silver Surfer. Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically, he's always named Silver Surfer.
There is a character named Silver Surfer who sometimes is the Herald of Galactus.
Yes. Does Silver Surfer have a real name? Yeah. Okay.
Norrin Rad.
Okay. And I also know that Galactus is a character in, I think, Marvel v. Capcom, right? All I know is that there's one Marvel fighting game where you have to fight Hawkeye against Galactus, and that just seems like a not a fair fight that makes any sense. And apparently Hawkeye can win.
That sounds like a Marvel versus Capcom kind of thing.
I feel that you can't have Galactus in a fighting game. really doesn't scale right.
Yeah, maybe he'd been depowered.
And I also know that at one point he was not evil. I think not a world eater. He was the life bringer.
Harder to
Evil's a hard word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But
I don't mean
he was
evil,
once the life bringer.
And I also read a comic in which he has a conversation in the living room with Molecule Man. And it's
not the living room.
In Molecule Man's living room.
Is that Molecule Man's living room?
It's his room.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it looks like a
place
dorm
where
room.
he keeps his stuff.
Yeah. And he loves stuff.
He does.
Have a soda from the 80s. And Molecule Man in that comic feels very much like Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls.
Yes.
In the Menace too. Molecule Man seems menacing.
Yeah.
And Galactus says to himself several times, be careful, because he can end you with a thought.
Yeah.
And Galactus
That's pretty
seemed
menacing.
actively scary. Oh, that... Also, Galactus thinking about things also changes my perspective when we talked about the nature of evil. Because one time you compared Galactus to a force of nature, like a tsunami
Or a hurricane.
A hurricane.
Yeah.
And my retort to that was that they are not sentient, conscious beings who can consider the ramifications of their actions.
Yeah, we're going to get into that today. There are deeper conversations to be had, but let's keep going with the things that you still know.
Well,
his mom was sick once. Do you remember that?
I do. So I've always been confused about the mom thing. But then you told me that Galactus used to not be a giant world-eating person.
Yeah, he's just a guy named Galen.
He's just a guy named Galen who got turned into a world-eating monster?
Correct.
Okay. Through magic or science? Both? Magic science?
Cosmic energy.
Okay. So
technically science? Because nothing
maybe not magic or science.
Magical happened? How do you define magic?
Not as something that we need to do tonight. Cosmic energy is a third thing. Like flora and fauna and fungi. Like how mushrooms aren't plants or animals, but are in fact an alien species that have come to dominate the planet.
Exactly.
I think that's what cosmic energy is. That it's like that third thing that isn't as common as the two other things and is much scarier, like mushrooms.
Yes.
Cosmic mushrooms.
That sounds right for Galactus.
I don't know if it's noticeable to anyone else, but this is a night record.
Yeah.
And that's why we're coming up with things like cosmic mushrooms, because Charlotte and I I'm not 100% convinced that right now this isn't a dream. That I'm not dreaming right now.
Well,
I'm delirious.
Are there some times that you are sure that you're not dreaming?
Oh, don't put that in my fucking head. Don't.
Yeah, okay, so like there's a new movie coming out called Fantastic Four First Steps.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yes.
We saw it at a very special screening that only the two of us have seen.
Super special.
Yeah.
And Galactus is in that movie, so I thought we would talk about Galactus.
Sure.
And like, okay, so like I read a lot of Galactus comics. And I read a lot of Galactus Wikipedia, and I will say that I feel like I know less about Galactus now than I did before. Because
isn't that weird how that happens sometimes?
Because I thought I knew about Galactus,
and then then you realize that something you thought was true is wrong.
That there's just like so much more to it.
To be fair, though, you might have known about Galactus. And then that changed.
That's true. That happens a lot.
Comics are one of those weird mediums where things just change, and you're like, "But that hasn't been the case the whole time." You're like, "No, the whole time it was this way." And you're like, "But I know it wasn't. I read the comic." No, the whole time.
That happens to Galactus a lot, specifically.
I think that's because no one knows how to write a character that is a planet-eating lunatic.
He's not a lunatic.
Whatever.
He's a god, sort of.
Sort of.
Well, okay, so I tried to think of a structure for today's episode, and I was unsuccessful.
Great. Good start.
But I do think that a good place to start is with his first appearance, so that we can see what he was when he was initially conceived, and then we can start talking about some other stuff.
Okay, I think that makes sense.
Okay, so Fantastic Four issues 48 through 50 are some of the... it's considered Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in their prime.
48 through 50?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And this is the coming of Galactus, and it starts with the Silver Surfer, and then Galactus comes, and as we all know, eventually at the end, Reed Richards scares Galactus away with the Ultimate Nullifier.
Which is a thing that can destroy anything you think of, but it will also kill you.
Right.
Okay.
And one of the things that you can point it at is, like, the universe. Right, so...
Yeah. How did that exist?
The Ultimate Nullifier was created by the Watchers.
Okay.
So that's how that exists.
Okay. Weirdly, I didn't think there was going to be an acceptable answer to that. Mm-hmm. But, like, yeah, ultimate cosmic beings created this ultimate cosmic weapon in the end.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
So speaking of the Watcher...
Okay.
I want to go into a little more detail about what happened in his first appearance there. So it started out with the sky on fire. The sky across the whole world was set on fire. And the people of New York were like, it's probably Johnny Johnny Storm's fault because he's the Human Torch, and so they beat him up. And I mean, well, because he wasn't gonna like incinerate just the random citizens of New York. And
no, but he could also just fly.
Yeah, they hit him in the head or something, so he fell down and was down on the street with them. And then the Thing came and rescued him. And while they were running back to the Baxter building, the fire changed into rocks. And so the sky was filled with rocks. And
they were like falling onto the earth?
No, just like staying in the sky, like magic floating rocks.
Okay.
And people started freaking the fuck out. And then when Ben and Johnny got back to the Baxter building, the Watcher was there. And the Watcher said, this is what the Watcher said. "Perhaps I can explain. I have been causing those phenomena in the skies above Earth with my matter mobilizer. But when I saw that my artificial fire shield caused panic among the humans, I substituted inorganic space debris in its place."
Okay. I have a lot of questions. First of all, thanks, bro. You got my ass kicked by a bunch of angry New Yorkers for no fucking reason at all. Second of all, what did you did you think? You dumb asshole. What?
Right. So like we've talked some about how the Watcher breaks his oath a lot.
But I mean,
and in this comic, like it's like he's not even trying.
No, okay,
to pretend.
And that's fine. But what did you think people were going to do when the sky was lit on fire?
Well,
in what universe did you think that was going to be a good thing?
It was just one of those things. He was so focused on Galactus coming, and I better do something, that he didn't think about what the consequences of his action would be. Right? And so
sure.
What he was trying to do is he was trying to hide the planet from the Silver Surfer, because the Silver Surfer was coming, and he thought, if the planet is hidden, then the Surfer won't be able to find it.
Hidden in a giant ball of fire?
Sure.
And then floating rock.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, how would you hide a planet?
And you know what? I guess I don't have an answer. Here's the thing. If you're ever playing a game of like hide and seek.
Yeah.
And one of your options is set yourself on fire. There are just so many other ways. I guess the space debris is sort of like hiding under a pile of rocks.
Yeah. Well, and the fire, like, you just kind of look like a sun, right? If there's just like a floating ball of fire, Silver Surfer would be just like, oh, that's just another sun. I'm looking for a planet.
All I'm saying is I do think there are just better options.
Yes. The Watcher is dumb and bad. That's the answer here. So Silver Surfer comes anyway, and he sets down on top of the Baxter building, and he sends out a signal to Galactus.
So it's all nothing.
Yes,
okay.
It was. And then the Watcher's like, fuck, we're fucked. And then
thanks, Watcher.
And then the Thing's like, this guy doesn't look so tough, and he punches him, and the Silver Surfer falls. And he's like, see, he didn't even put up a resistance. And the Watcher's like, that's because he already summoned his master, so he doesn't care about you anymore. And so he just wasn't even paying attention. And then here's the cool part, or like the completely unbelievable part.
Okay.
Is that the sky roof thing that he happens to fall through, Silver Surfer happens to fall through after getting punched, is that of Alicia Masters, Ben Grimm's girlfriend.
Okay.
Just like randomly, Ben just punched him, and the building that he falls into is Alicia's.
Wait, were they at the Baxter building?
They were at the Baxter building, yeah.
So does she just live adjacent to the Baxter building?
I mean, she must live close by. I don't know exactly where.
Okay.
But anyway, he's like an unfeeling thing, and she's like, she offers him some food, and he's like, why would you ingest it with your mouth? Why don't you just atomize it and turn it into pure energy? That would be so much more efficient. And she's like, well, we can't do that. And he's like, oh, your species sucks. And then she's like, but like beauty and art and shit. And he's like, oh my God, you're right. Beauty and art and shit.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a bad point. Like, just because you're not efficient at materializing food, it doesn't mean that you can't make good art.
No, it was a very sudden turn. Silver Surfer's like, he's real dumb, right? Like he doesn't understand eating.
Well, he's not dumb. He's just disconnected from human operations.
Yeah, he comes across as dumb. But anyway,
I'm sure we come across as dumb to him.
That's probably
I'm
true.
not trying to defend Silver Surfer's heralding of Galactus. Although, is he doing this for like?
It's his job.
Yes. Okay, I get that. But does he like his job?
So, Silver Surfer also used to be a person. His name was Norin Rad. He was from the planet Zenlaw. And Galactus came to eat Zenlaw, and the Silver Surfer was like, wait, what if instead I become your herald and I find you some other planets to eat? And Galactus is like, okay, cool, I turn you into the Silver Surfer. Then after doing that for a few centuries, he went insane from feeding too much to Galactus.
The guilt?
Yes, and so Galactus removed all of his emotions and all of his memories. And the reason that he did that is because when the Silver Surfer was first created, he was not meant to have originally had been a human. He was just like a thing that Galactus made out of nowhere.
Like a homunculus or a golem or something. Okay.
Yeah. But then Stan Lee decided, so the Stan Lee versus Jack Kirby kind of thing gets pretty heated here. One of the major contentions is that Stan Lee wrote and published a Silver Surfer comic book that had a different origin and story for the Silver Surfer than what Jack was planning to put into the Fantastic Four comics without telling him.
Was Jack a writer on this?
Jack came up with a lot of the ideas.
Okay.
He didn't put the words down. So famously, the Silver Surfer was thought of only by Jack Kirby. And that when Jack showed Stan these pages, Stan was like, who's that guy? And Jack was like, well, something as big as Galactus would have someone else to find his planets for him. So there's a lot of writing coming out of Jack's imagination.
Right.
But it's Stan that does the words, and Stan is also the editor, right? So he's not just the one doing the words, he's kind of in charge of the company. And he decided, for whatever reason, to publish this Silver Surfer issue 1, which did the whole Norin Rad Zenlaw thing.
How long after Galactus and Silver Surfer's first appearance did that?
A couple years.
Okay. So did Jack Kirby and... I don't know anything about Jack Kirby and Stan Lee's relationship and as it progressed. Everything I've heard with Jack Kirby, not great.
It started out well, and then it kind of went downhill. And there are a lot of different reasons, but primarily because the Stan was getting a lot of credit and Marvel was getting a lot of credit, but Jack wasn't. And a major part of that is that Jack wasn't getting any royalties from television.
Yeah.
And then when Stan also started kind of undermining his ideas, that also didn't help.
Yeah, understandably so. Is there any idea of what Jack's original or Jack's intended or ideas of what his origin was supposed to be?
Yes. Let's do that real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about Thor issue 169 because it's weird.
Okay.
Okay, so Jack's plan for Galactus is that Galactus is from a planet called Ta, and his name is Galen, and he's just a regular guy. And then Ta was hit by a plague, so everyone on the planet died of sickness. But Ta was a big science planet, and so he was like, well, let's go out in a blaze of glory. Let's, if we're the last 4 of us alive, let's fly into the sun instead of just sitting here and dying from this plague. So he and 3 of his friends flew into their sun, and then while he was in there, he got hit with a bunch of cosmic radiation, and his ship started drifting. And then the Watcher saw his ship drifting and brought it to his planet so he could look at it more. And he was like, oh, there's an alive dude in here. And he sort of nursed him back to health and realized as he was doing that the cosmic energy from the sun had turned him into Galactus. And the Watcher thought about destroying him, but decided not to, and has kind of had guilt about that ever since.
Okay.
That was Jack Kirby's origin.
And was that published?
Sort of.
Okay.
So there was this weird thing that I don't really understand the history of that is very complicated, but Thor issue 169 was the first time that they were telling the origin of Galactus. And
what year-ish is this?
69?
Oh, okay. So again, not long after.
Not long after,
okay.
No. But at this point, Jack had moved to the West Coast. So he wasn't going into the office. He was mailing his pages in.
Mm-hmm.
And what got printed was a cut-up, reordered, very different story than what Jack had drawn. And
because of Stan.
Because Stan had put some stuff in the Silver Surfer comic that wasn't canonically the same as what Jack had said in his comic. And so it ended up being weird. And so here's Galactus's real origin.
As in canon comics origin.
Right, yes.
Okay.
Back in the 6th universe, the entire universe was dying from the plague called entropy.
Okay. This 6th universe thing was from the 60s?
Yes and no.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't actually named the 6th universe until the 80s, but the ideas are there.
Okay.
Because it's the universe before ours. At the time, the main Marvel universe was the 7th universe. Now it's the 8th.
Okay.
The point is, it's the previous universe, and it's dying from entropy the way that universes do at the end of their time.
Sure.
And so when Galactus flies and his friends fly into the sun, they're hoping to escape entropy somehow. And they fail, but the essence of the universe contacted Galen in his ship and was like, what we're going to do is the two of us are kind of going to hide inside each other so that when the next big bang happens, you'll still exist and there will still be some essence of me around.
Okay. You said that so quickly and so confidently that I almost fully missed you saying the words "the essence of the universe" like it was a thing.
Well, you know eternity.
Yes.
This was functionally the version of eternity that existed in the 6th universe.
So the essence of the universe crawled up inside of Galactus's ass.
Yes, basically.
Metaphorically speaking.
Yes.
And then they just sat there waiting for a new Big Bang.
Yeah, basically. and that happened. And one thing that's interesting, is it interesting or is it just weird?
It's hard to tell.
So eternity often encapsulates the entire multiverse, not just the one universe, not just 616, but all of its variations as well. But 616 was first. After the 6th eternity died, when the new multiverse was being born from Big Bangness, the first multiverse that was created was 616. And that's the one that Galactus got put into.
Like, you see why I hate this, right? Like, you get why this is maddening.
Because there's no way to argue with it. Because
it's just gibberish. It's like when I try to read a textbook for a topic that I don't know anything about, but has very specific language. Or Jessica, my wife's a geologist, and I tried to read one of her books talking about like topographical mapping and the directional slide of fault lines. I got like a page and a half in, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I know all of these words. Like, I know what these words mean individually. I could define most of these words easily. But you've put them together in an order that means nothing, and it's like the opposite of a trigger code word for a spy movie, where like, oh, you hear this word and you're suddenly triggered.
Right.
It's like the opposite. Like, I hear these combination of words and it just shuts me down completely. Like, my brain turns off, and I'm just like, I don't know. I missed out in the last 40 minutes of talking because like, I know we said things. But your brain wasn't there to listen to them. Yeah, it's like a hypnosis. I heard a bunch of words, and they must mean something because the look on the person's face who's telling this to me is giving me a look like it all makes perfect sense to them. So I'm either stoned and I don't know it, or I'm dumb, which is very possible, as you established earlier in the podcast.
His face is telling me it's my turn to respond in this conversation, but I have nothing to say.
So many times, and then you'll stop and look at me. Like, you'll look at me for a reaction. I'm like, oh, yeah, oh, no. Brr. I don't fucking know.
I mean, that, to be fair, usually that is your reaction.
That's true.
It's just, no.
It's not even that. It's not that it's bad. Mm-hmm. Because for it to be bad, it would have to be a thing. It's just,
I mean, it's something.
I mean, it is something. It feels like when I look at a piece of like abstract art, and then someone's like, "Isn't it great?" And you're like, "I don't know. Is it great? I guess it's great. It's there. It exists. I am looking at it. I don't know what it means. Does it mean anything?" Okay, please keep telling me.
Well, that's basically how Galen became Galactus. And, that caused the tension between Stan and Jack to continue to get worse. This is one of the things that was going wrong at the time. So here's another thing about that caused tension between them. DC's New Gods?
Like Darkseid?
And that whole pantheon of people.
I know Darkseid. Either way, yeah, the New Gods.
Yeah, Jack had already created them while he was at Marvel.
I'm fairly certain I also read somewhere or heard somewhere that when Jack made the New Gods, he did not intend for them to be part of the DC canon.
No, he made them for Marvel.
Right, but what I'm saying is, when Darkseid was never supposed to be fighting Batman.
No, Galactus was going to eat Asgard. And then through a process of whatever, they would end up getting replaced with New Gods.
That's an awesome idea.
The New Gods.
So then he just took that and took it to DC?
Yeah, because basically Stan and Stan's publisher, who has a name and I definitely know what it is, said no.
Weirdly, it's Stan's publisher.
So the publisher's thing at the time was we got to go back to telling single issue stories. So none of this like big, broad, takes multiple comics to tell a story thing. So
he's an innovator.
Big time.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he founded Marvel Comics.
Yeah, but I mean, that's dumb.
I agree. But
people can be good and then be bad.
That's true. But I mean, it was a sales thing.
It's a fact of life. People can be good and then be bad.
Yeah. It was a sales thing because of the way the market was. He was like, because people miss their issues and there's no way to get back issues yet. And so he was like...
Oh, no, it makes sense. I mean, that's just the way the market...
It's just bad for storytelling.
But I mean, they've had mandates like that since then, too.
Yeah. Point being, they said no. And, it's hard to say exactly what was the straw that broke the camel's back, but that was another part of the straw that was piling on top of the camel that led Kirby to end up going to DC, and that's where he published the New Gods.
I just like that no matter where he goes, he cannot get away from people just taking his stuff and being like, nope, this is ours, and we're going to do whatever the fuck we want with it now.
Yeah, that is a very sad reality of the comic book industry at the time.
But it feels like it's real, like he writes shit that should not work in the larger canon, and it requires so much mental gymnastics to make work, and it would be so much easier if they just didn't try in the first place, and universally, they then try.
Yeah.
That's how we get Machine Man and the Eternals and New Gods and all of these different places.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes, it feels like he intentionally makes something that cannot be wrapped up into the canon.
Well, yeah, that was his goal.
And then then almost through some Illuminati cabal of people who just want to fuck him over for his goal. It's odd.
It's sad to me.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What's he going to do? It was 30, 40 years ago. Wait.
Oh, no, it is about 70 years ago.
Is it still the year 2000?
No, it is not. It is...
Was the 70s 30 to 40 years ago?
No, it was 1975 was 50 years ago. So
this was 50 to 60 years ago?
Yes.
That's a long time.
Yes, we're very old. And I'm not making fun of you. I also think that the year is the year 2000. Like in any time, it's yeah.
Like when I'm rounding back into the 90s,
a quarter of a century.
Well, and I think about approximately how long has it been. My mind thinks to start at 2000.
Geologically speaking, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Okay, so Kirby didn't get to do what he wanted to do with Galactus, and Galactus became
Silver Surfer,
and they became this other thing. So let's talk a little bit about that thing that he became.
Which one?
Galactus.
Okay.
The fact that he was from the 6th universe.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? So his mom, her name is Taia, which is weird. So the planet he's from is called Ta, T-A-A, and his mom's name is Taia, T-A-A-I-A, which is like if our name was like Earthman. Yeah. And anyway,
somebody gave their kid the name Earthman. You just know that name does exist somewhere.
Well, would a scienceer do that? So the 6th universe was the first time that there was science. Apparently in universes 1 through 5, there was no such thing as science.
Was there sentiency and stuff?
Yeah, but no science. Whatever that means.
Was that? Okay.
Well, because it was a big deal that the Ta'ians were like at the pinnacle of science, because they were a big part of the very concept of science, which is dumb because all concepts cease to exist for a moment between the two universes. So why does it matter what came before?
Last?
Yeah, well, I don't know, a few billion years.
But then why was there a 6th and 7th and 8th universe?
Yeah,
now?
like the early universes don't seem to have lasted very long.
Is it possible that they also don't know what the word universe means?
It's possible.
It feels like the tangential concepts of clones and universes just escape Marvel writers.
I mean, what they mean is the being eternity and all of the creatures that live inside of him and the various versions of him. Right?
Right? Right? Is that what you just asked me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like when they say
no one knows.
When they say universe, that's what they mean. They mean all of the things that are inside of eternity.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So speaking of eternity,
we don't have to.
No, we do. We do. In order to define Galactus, we have to speak.
We also don't have to. We don't have to do any of this.
Okay, so eternity is the sentient being who is the physical manifestation of the entire universe. His sister Infinity is the one who is the manifestation of time. And it's important to keep those differentiated. Eternity is not a time being, he's a space being. Infinity is the one who does time.
I take issue with your use of the word important. It is important to remember this.
If you want to understand Galactus, yes.
I promise you I will not.
But
I promise you that no matter how much I remember, no matter how much important it is.
If you want to try to grasp the concept of Galactus, first you must know who is eternity.
Okay, so eternity is space. Infinity, despite being a synonym, is time.
Correct.
Okay,
so the first being to exist in eternity was Galactus, because he came from the 6th universe. He came from
who is also
before.
eternity.
Right, but a different one. He's called the 6th cosmos now.
But the first eternity still exists is in the firmament.
Right. He's called the first
firmament.
firmament.
Show me some love for remembering that fucking thing.
Yeah, you read that comic by Al Ewing.
No?
Yeah, you did.
I did not.
With the first firmament in it?
I don't think so.
I thought you did.
You talked at me about it. Although, you know what? Hold on. Let me rephrase that. It's very possible I did. When I say, no, I didn't, what I mean is, I don't have any memory of that.
But yeah, the first firmament, which is the first thing that ever existed, does still exist because in the land of could be, should be, nothing can ever truly die.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I think I hate you. I think I hate you.
This is from the Blue Marvel episode where he meets God and goes outside of the universe.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
That's not important right now. What's important right now is eternity.
Again,
In order to understand Galactus, we must grasp the concept of the being eternity, specifically Eternity 7. Because Eternity 7 is that's the universe that Galactus was born into. So Galactus is the eternal balance between eternity and death.
Okay.
And so if he ever ceased to be, it would cause the entire universe to fall apart.
Why?
Because there would be no balance between the universe and death. What does that mean? Well, I think what it means is that death and eternity... I don't know what it means.
I know you don't. I know you don't. I could tell that you don't from the look on your face. And the fact you started the sentence with, well, I think it means, and then there was a 5-minute pause that you'll probably edit out, but it was a long pause as you scrambled to come up with any reasonable explanation for what that sentence could possibly mean.
Just like the in-betweener is the balance between chaos and order, Galactus is the balance between death and eternity.
But those aren't even things that are being balanced.
But eternity himself. So Reed Richards helps Galactus not die, and so a bunch of aliens put him on trial, and they're going to try him for the crimes of Galactus. They all want to vote guilty against him, but Reed is like, let's think about this for a minute. You know, saving Galactus might not have been such a bad idea. And then Eternity himself comes to the trial and basically says, yes, Galactus is the thing that balances me and death.
But how? What I'm asking, I'm not just trying to be obstinate here.
No, I understand the question.
It makes it sound like there is some sort of uneasy truce, like mutually assured destruction or something like that, where if Galactus didn't exist, death would just consume everything, which implies
yes.
that... Okay, so how does Galactus keep death in check?
By existing.
Okay.
And that's why he must continue to exist.
How does his existence keep death in check?
Oh, how could we possibly fathom the galactic...
Well, because they can all talk and apparently have intergalactic cosmic trials. That's how we could fathom it. What is a cosmic trial? What is a... Okay.
It was a bunch of space aliens.
Having Earth Court?
Well, it wasn't Earth Court, it was Space Court. The way they did it is that there were a bunch of telepathic gems hanging from the ceiling, each one of which represented a person in the room, so that everyone present was functionally a member of the jury, and if there ever was unanimous consensus one way or the other, that's who won. But the point is, when Eternity came and said, Galactus is necessary for the balance between myself and death, everybody was like, oh, okay.
So when Eternity comes to this trial,
yeah,
is it just like a projection of Eternity?
No, he showed up outside the space base.
Okay, but how can all of us exist in him if he is in here? What does any of this mean?
You know, like the Russian dolls?
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, like, the version of Eternity that came to the trial was a smaller version, and inside it were smaller versions of all of us, inside of which there was a smaller version of Eternity that came to the trial.
No, you see how immediately it falls apart.
Or like infinite mirrors.
I mean, could it not just be like a sort of virtual proxy representing itself?
It could have been, yeah. The way that we can send virtual proxies inside of our own stomachs.
I was going to say that. Like when our blood cells fighting off, hold a trial to convict the virus in our system. I don't know, man. I'm trying here.
So here's the part of that doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Sometimes
all of it? Is it all of it?
Sometimes Galactus dies. And that also doesn't seem to cause problem.
I'm also confused about that.
Especially and then for a while he was the life bringer. Was that what?
I agree. I'm glad that I'm not the only one saying it this time.
No, remember I told you I think I understand Galactus less now that I have learned more things.
Okay. I guess I'm hung up on this because it doesn't, like, the other stuff felt like it didn't mean anything because it was just like random nonsense or whatever. This feels like it's supposed to mean something, but I cannot figure out what it's supposed to mean.
Yes.
And it makes me angry that it feels like there's at least one person writing this who thought, I get this. This is what this means. But now I cannot decipher what it means.
So it was John Byrne, and the reason that it was John Byrne is because John Byrne was at the trial. So you want to talk weird. Okay, so this is Fantastic Four issue 272, written and drawn by John Byrne. And in the comic starts with the editor on the phone with John, and John's like, I don't have any ideas for the next Fantastic Four comic. But then the Watcher comes and grabs John Byrne and takes him to the trial of Reed Richards. And he's like, you should put this in your comic book because it's important. And so John Byrne is at the trial and like talking.
Watcher didn't want to grab like a reporter or a photographer.
No, he grabbed John Byrne.
He grabbed a fictional comic book writer.
No, he's a real comic book writer.
No, the one that he grabbed.
No, the version of John Byrne that he grabbed catalogs, or is supposedly the Marvel comics published in the Marvel Universe are true biographical stories. So it is weird that John said he didn't have any ideas for the next comic. But maybe what he meant is that the Fantastic Four, I don't know of anything the Fantastic Four have done lately, and so I don't have anything for the comic because they've been in space.
Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
Marvel Comics is a biographical organization.
Yeah.
So they are sort of a news organization.
I guess they are, yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, specifically, you can blame John Byrne. Like this.
I do.
This specific thing about Galactus being the balance between death and eternity is specifically by John Byrne and John Byrne alone. So if you need someone to yell at,
is it brought up again?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like later.
Because it feels like that kind of thing that later you'd be able to just be like, oh, what? No,
it definitely comes up
I guess Eternity lied.
Okay, so, like, Galactus is evil. He's not a hurricane. He's definitely not a hurricane. Because, basically, when he eats a sentient planet, he says two things. First of all, you guys are just ants. Why would I care if I have to step on some ants in order to stay alive? And then he also says, me staying alive is an essential part of the universe, so it's more important that I feed than that you get to continue to exist.
So his justification for eating people is he needs to exist for the universe to exist.
Right. Or to keep balance between death and eternity, which I take to mean that the whole universe would somehow be destroyed. That's the sense that I get.
But so when you balance things, you balance oppositional things by weight or something else, right?
I mean, eternity is life.
No, eternity is space. You specifically said that, right?
Yeah, but eternity is also life.
But death is also part of life. Is death not part of eternity?
I always thought death was part of eternity. But death also exists apart from eternity.
How is a mask woven through eternity's
soul? Wizards did it during the King Arthur ages.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Fuck. I was trying to make a joke, and then the answer was worse than I remembered.
That's the origin of the eternity mask.
Fuck everybody.
So Galactus...
I don't feel that we've gotten anywhere.
Well, I mean, what is the definition of evil? That's hard to say, but let's say that Galactus willingly sacrifices the lives of billions of sentient beings because he thinks it's more important for him to eat than to let those people live.
But everyone would die, theoretically, if he died.
Right, but he could, so he can only sustain himself on planets with a certain life energy, and finding planets with life energy that aren't inhabited by sentient beings is really hard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so sometimes he gets too hungry and he can't wait to find another uninhabited planet. He has to eat one that he can get his hands on.
Okay, if he is that important, and he is the balance of eternity and death, whatever that does mean, let's just say that makes sense.
Okay.
If he is he's that powerful, then why is he beaten and defeated so often?
Well, it turns out that as he gets hungry, he loses lots of his power. And so, like, he's not as strong as he should be or could be.
I relate to that. I get that.
And here's something that I think is great. So you know that Squirrel Girl is one of the heroes who has beaten Galactus?
I mean, I've read that. I don't know what that means exactly.
So as
Didn't
Galactus...
she defeat Dr. Doom with by giving him some playing cards he wanted or something? Like she negotiated with Dr. Doom, and that's how she defeated Dr. Doom. It's like she gave him some trading cards or something. I might be wrong.
That sounds like something she might have done. In her very first appearance, she beat Dr. Doom by having squirrels eat the inside of his spaceship. Or flying saucer, or whatever the fuck it was.
I don't know why, but that sentence went in a much darker direction in my head than the way it actually went. I thought you were going to say, the inside of his face. Or, I swear to God, I don't know why. Just when you said she had squirrels eat the inside of his... And I was like, oh my God! And it's like, spaceship. Like, oh, okay. That went in a very different direction than I was anticipating.
You know what's really weird? Is that Squirrel Girl was created by Steve Ditko in 1992.
That is weird.
Yeah.
You think of Ditko as a 70s...
60s even.
60s,
Yeah, because he created Spider-Man and Eternity and Doctor Strange. He left Marvel because he hated Stan Lee and everything to do with Marvel.
There's a common denominator that keeps popping up here.
But later he came back. Basically, he needed work, so he was doing some freelance work for Marvel. And one of the books that he told was... It was an Iron Man story that just happened to have this random chick named Squirrel Girl in it. So anyways... How did she beat Galactus? Okay, so he's coming to Earth, and she meets him up on the moon. And
okay, I won't ask you how she got to the moon. I don't care. How did she get on the moon?
She stole some spaceship from Iron Man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so she's talking to him, and Galactus is like, "Oh man, you're the only one who talks to me like a person and treats me like a peer." And based on his dialogue, I'm going to say that not only does everyone see him differently, but everyone hears him differently as well, because she was sort of experiencing her conversation with Galactus in a very, the tone matched her more than the way that he often is just like, I am cosmic and will eat you raw,
Mm-hmm. I also like that you don't think that's just the writer writing him.
Well, it can't be that.
Okay.
Right? There always has to be an in-universe explanation for what is happening.
No.
So either for some reason Galactus was talking weird, or everybody communicates with him in their own style.
Yeah, I see. So you mean for your own mental well-being.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. All right, so here's what Squirrel Girl says. I kept asking myself a question. Why would someone who is death incarnate... Also, I don't know.
That's not
that
true.
Can't be. Yep. A force of nature that cannot be reasoned, bartered, or pleaded with. Also
except
not
for all
true.
the times that he is.
Why would such a being come to Earth over and over again, and yet every time, leave without destroying the planet?
It's a solid question.
How are we possibly batting 1,000 against him?
Yeah, all good points.
But then I realized, wait a tick, you don't defeat a Galactus by being stronger, you defeat a Galactus by being smarter. The only way you'll ever defeat Galactus is by giving him what he wants, a source of life energy, a planet he can eat. So
that's also definitively not true.
So here's your secret, Galactus. You don't come here to destroy us. You come to Earth because you know we'll drop everything to find you a planet that's safe, delicious, and not already settled by intelligent life. You come to Earth because it's the cosmic equivalent of ordering in.
Okay. I don't think
that works for me.
I mean, sure. I don't think that analogy makes sense.
Just the amount of times that he comes to Earth does not make sense.
Sure, but the metaphor there, we don't bring him the planets. He doesn't eat in. He still has to go to the planets.
Yeah, but
it's
we
more like
we find
we are
it for
serving
him.
as a concept. We're just a herald.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're a better herald than his other heralds, because his other heralds always turn on him.
But also, I think it missed a beat there, which is that he comes to us not for a source of cheap or easy to get food. he doesn't want to hurt people.
No, that's not true. He's stopped caring about hurting people.
But I think her point, it felt like what she was trying to say was, we'll find him planets that he doesn't have to eat anybody on.
Right.
And so it felt like it was going towards her saying, like, I know deep down you actually don't want to be doing anything that kills a bunch of people.
That makes sense.
And it feels like that was where that was going.
I mean, he does, as often as possible, take the opportunity to eat uninhabited planets. But he also always says, morality is beneath me and I feel no guilt for consuming because I must consume because I must exist.
I say the same thing every time I eat the entire breakfast burrito. I'm like, morality means nothing to me. I consume because I want to consume. And then my wife's like, why are you talking to your breakfast burrito? It's, morality means nothing to me. And she's like, I don't think that answers my question at all. You tell yourself stuff so that you can shovel this fucking stuff in your mouth and not feel like a big old lunatic.
Yeah.
So Squirrel Girl, but I still don't see how Squirrel Girl defeated him.
She found him a planet full of acorns, and he had never experienced nuts before. Sorry, I'm tired.
That was so stupid. Okay,
so Squirrel Girl found him a planet filled with acorns because he'd never experienced nuts before.
I know you said it before, and it still makes me laugh. What? How did? Okay.
Because she stole a spaceship from Iron Man.
No, not that part.
Oh,
no, I'm not even I guess.
I don't understand what you're confused about.
Half of me wants to ask how she found a planet.
The squirrels helped.
The squirrels helped.
Yeah.
Oh, all the way. Fuck you. Secondly. How could there be a planet filled with acorns? What does that even mean?
Like there weren't any sentient beings on this planet.
It was filled with trees.
Well, no.
Okay.
We didn't see any trees. All we saw were acorns. It's like the ground was acorn.
I get that this is probably just a joke thing. Like, it's probably not a thing that I need to be spending this much time thinking about.
I mean, it was a joke comic, but it is also Marvel canon. That, like, it did happen.
Okay. Nothing is... there are no... It's nothing is the thing. Nothing is things that are things, and all of the other not things aren't things either.
That's part of what makes Marvel canon so fun, is that the comedy comics are canon too.
Oh man.
Like Impossible Man. He's a weird green shapeshifter dude, and when Galactus ate his planet, it gave him indigestion.
Okay.
So you get it now, right?
I mean, I would argue that I do to the extent that it is gettable. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I don't feel that I do.
Well, none of it means anything.
Yeah, I think that's my problem. Like I want to find the comic I haven't read yet that stitches it all together and makes it finally make sense. But every time I read a new comic, it makes less sense instead of making more sense.
I think I know what the problem is.
Yeah.
It's going to sound simple at first, but I have a bigger point.
Okay.
None of this makes sense. But hold on. It's not just that.
That's a very easy problem.
No. It's a problem with cyclical ramifications.
Okay.
None of this makes any sense, but it all feels like it might.
Okay.
Did you know that movie Inherent Vice that came out a couple of years ago with Joaquin Phoenix?
Nope.
It's a detective movie. And every single scene leads into the next scene. Mm-hmm. And the whole movie feels like a very complicated thing. And then when you get to the end of the movie, you realize none of these scenes actually led into any other scene. The movie objectively and deliberately and systematically doesn't make sense. There is no way to follow the plot because the plot moves in a way that feels like it all flows into the next thing, but it's a mind trick. It's a rug pull. So when connections are made, you don't realize at first that those connections aren't connections, right?
Okay.
And so by the end of the movie,
this sounds like something I really want to watch.
It's fucking amazing. It's a great movie, right? This feels similar to that in that none of it makes any sense. but it feels like there is a sense to be made right below the surface of what you know. And none of the writers either want to admit it doesn't make sense, or they think they understand it.
Yes, that's what I think is happening.
I think a lot of people think they understand it, but there is nothing to understand. It is objectively nonsense. But it is interpretable nonsense to the degree that other people start adding their nonsense, thinking that what they are adding makes sense.
Right.
Because it makes sense to the way that they have interpreted the nonsense. But then other people read their thing that has only compounded the nonsense and made sense of their compounded nonsense to add their own nonsense. And at the end, it's just more nonsense, just bigger, wider ranging, cyclical nonsense that feeds off of itself in a line of people very sure that they understand it, but not understanding it. Remember my abstract painting idea?
I do.
This is like people who are other artists who see that and are affected by it, and then think they understand it, so they are like, I'm going to make another painting.
Well, they literally add to the piece.
Yeah, they add to the piece.
Yeah.
But it equally doesn't mean what the original thing meant, because the original thing was just some colors. And then somebody else comes and is like, oh, I like this, I'm going to add my own thing to it. And at the end, you're either just going to get a block of just nothing or static and just crazy colors. And ultimately, I guess the meaning is that nothing has meaning.
Or just like this abstraction masterpiece that was created by multiple artists.
That's not what we have here.
No, that's absolutely what we have. Galactus is an abstract masterpiece.
All of this feels like there is an understanding that is hiding on the periphery.
Well, yeah.
But it isn't.
Well, it is in the sense that we are not meant to understand things that are that cosmic.
Cop-out bullshit. This is a fictional story. If we weren't meant to have things, understand things that were that abstract, then they wouldn't have physical manifestations that go into an intergalactic courtroom and explain them. What are you talking about? There wouldn't be an intergalactic courtroom for the concept of eternity itself to then give testimony. Things would just happen.
Well, I don't have a good answer for that.
That's what I'm saying. Like you either need to explain it less.
Oh, that's not how Marvel works.
Right. And so you get into just, it's like, it's just quicksand. It's fictional literary word salad quicksand. Word salad quicksand, by the way.
It was a great name.
Great name for a song or a band or like a second album. Not like the first album. First album needed to be more mainstream, but then when like the band, when Adam Warlock in the Infinity Watch needed to come up with a second album.
Yeah, they went a little more
like prog rock sort of. Yeah.
So are we done now? Like,
we gotta spin a fucking wheel.
Oh, I love spinning the wheel. There we go. Totally real movie reviews.
Totally real movie reviews.
By Zach and Charnel.
Totally seen the new Fantastic Four that's coming out.
Right.
Way before anybody else. First steps.
Yeah. Before even anyone at Marvel has screened it.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you're going to be making all this up just based off of the things you've seen on the trailers and stuff, but it's not true. We've seen the movie. No, we know what happens.
That would be ridiculous if we just made things up.
Imagine
if I just made up all the shit about Galactus.
Charnel, I swear to, it wouldn't... I would no. I know you didn't. Because if you had just made it up, it would have made more sense. There would have been a cohesive thread somewhere. Every single thread that you pull led to you going, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Like it's just insane.
But there are no more pages.
There are no more pages.
Actually, there are a lot more pages.
That's the problem. It's the opposite problem. It's the opposite problem because when you finish a book and there are no more pages, like Man on the Wall, and you're like, well, I guess that's the end of it. Then that was the story. In this case, it's the opposite problem. there are infinite more pages.
Nah, it's not infinite.
No, okay, there are many, many more pages. So when you are done, you don't get that feeling of, well, I guess I didn't just get it. It's more, oh, maybe I will just get it if I just get this thing. That thing you were talking about earlier, where you just want to find the one comic that makes it make sense. That's the Marvel version of crack cocaine. that desire to make this make sense for some people is a fucking drug.
That's why we keep reading. Anyway, let's talk about the movie.
Yeah, the one we went to go see.
Yeah. Okay, so, it starts out as any Fantastic Four movie does with, you got Reed, Sue, Johnny, and Ben.
All hard banging.
Yes.
I thought that was weird because, you wouldn't think that Disney would get into, Johnny and Sue are brother and sister, and it's awkward.
Technically, but, incest is becoming more and more popular.
I don't think that's true, and I don't think that's a sentence that we want to be associated with.
Okay, not necessarily more popular, but certainly more common in media.
Yeah, but so after that, then they
go into space, and they all get superpowers,
which looked really cool. By the way, I did think it was weird that they decided to not give them the superpowers from the comics.
Yeah, I don't know. I get it, and I don't get it.
It was a bold choice.
It's all of the previous Fantastic Four movies have really sucked. So I understand why they wanted to try to go in a different direction.
Right. No, they gave them the powers we're all used to. But then, that thing where, Reed could just microwave things with his mind, I was like, that's odd.
That was weird.
It did not play into the plot at all. So why would you have a whole scene devoted to his discussion about microwave meals and how he can microwave them with his mind?
It's just like that fantasy fulfillment thing where it's just oh, I wish I could do that. That would be cool.
Okay, but then why could Sue just jump real high?
Well, that was... I interpreted that more like the Daredevil movie. Remember?
The one everyone loves and that they should emulate more?
Well, but that it wasn't meant to be taken literally. It was just kind of to add suspense. Not suspense, to add action.
Sure. Okay, but then with the thing, why did they decide to forgo rock and just make his body out of cheese? Because it doesn't feel like that's nearly as strong as rock.
See, that one I don't have a good answer for, but I've got to imagine that there was some sort of metaphor there that I wasn't quite getting. At least I give them credit for that. Because
that's fair.
Because
I get that.
Otherwise,
it's just here's madness.
Much like Galactus, it had to mean something, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. They got Galactus perfect.
Galactus was great. Yeah. I thought the shade of purple that they used for him was just spot on.
I did question because I can't remember who I heard who they had decided to cast as the voice actor and body act. But then they ADR'd all of his lines with a 12-year-old Korean boy. Mm-hmm. I thought that was, again, a strange decision.
That's one that I just, much like Galactus, don't have a good answer for.
I guess there's nothing saying that a 12-year-old Korean boy couldn't be a world-devouring monster.
Right, well, just like when Squirrel Girl had her conversation with Galactus and the dialogue was on her level.
Right,
They wanted to put Galactus's dialogue on a level that the average man could relate to.
I will say that Squirrel Girl cameo was pretty great, though.
I am so excited to see what they use her for next.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe she'll go up against Mephisto. That would be a great team up or epic duel.
Yeah. I thought it was good. The decision to make her grittier and do full goth makeup, but because Squirrel Girl is such a cute character,
right?
And the full toplessness was also, again, I was I thought this was going to be Marvel's kid movie version. But they went
it's definitely
hard
adult.
NC-17 for this movie.
I mean, you saw Daredevil Born Again, right?
That's true.
They've been tilting
moving
towards the
that.
edgier more and more.
I have a feeling that the version that we saw might get toned down before it hits theaters, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
They do want it to be mainstream,
right?
But who doesn't love some nudity?
No, that's a good point.
Nudity sells. You can't deny that.
Nudity
if they want to sell their movie, they put the nudity in it.
Yeah, the ship. What's the ship called? Their Fantastic Four mobile.
Pogo plane.
You shut the fuck up. That's the real thing?
Yeah.
That's the name of it?
Yeah.
Oh. I heard them say it 14 times in the movie, but I thought it was just Johnny having a stroke over and over again.
No, it's actually called the Pogo plane.
Oh, that's terrible. You know what one scene, because I know Stranger Things is hugely popular.
Sure.
But it's not Disney, right? Like, it's Netflix.
No, it's Netflix, yeah.
So, like, they cast Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. But then at one point, I guess to court Stranger Things fans, they just had him play his character from the 4th season of Stranger Things. And there wasn't any explanation for it. Like, it was right in the middle.
Yeah, it's really weird, but I do understand that Marvel is trying to bring in fans from different places, right? They're trying to reach out and grab more fans. So that's why you've got the nudity, you've got the Stranger Things, you've got the Korean boy, and it's all in an attempt to sort of reach out to different places so that you have more people who feel like this movie is for them.
When we lay it all out like that, I just realized I think we might have just I don't think that we might not have seen the Fantastic Four movie.
You don't think so?
I feel we might have just done meth in the back of a van. And then the Fantastic Four trailer came on our phones.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is breaking my mind here.
Yeah.
You're saying that doing too much meth can cause you to see things that didn't really happen?
Well, I guess what I'm saying is doing too much meth causes you to be able to psychically envision the Fantastic Four movie early.
Right.
But yeah.
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 Yeah, so we just had a window into the future. That's a perfectly valid way to watch a movie.
I'm concerned that none of this is going to be in the movie when it hits theaters.
Well, yeah, like you said, they're going to tone it down and kind of make it more mainstream.
Yeah. I'm also concerned that I don't remember going to smoke meth in a van. But we definitely did, and that's definitely what we're remembering right now. But also we had like a shared hallucination, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, because we did the same meth.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I do remember that. Right. If you do the same meth, you have the same shared hallucination. That's right. I forgot about that.
I know a lot about drugs.
Yes, clearly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the Doombots Marvel podcast.
It was when you summed up everything that we did that I realized. Oh, boy. So, sorry for the confusion. None of that has anything to do with the movie that's coming out, I don't think.
We'll never know.
That's true. Well, we will eventually know. I mean, I might not. I haven't seen a Marvel movie in a very long time, so there's a good chance I will never know. But you'll probably know.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, like if you're concerned about us, please email us, doombotspod@gmail.com. You can hit us up on all social media at doombotspod. And you check out the website, doombotspod.com. You get it. You know how it works. We are doing a mailing list thing for if you want to join our Doom's army of disposable minions.
Oh my God, you got it
Holy
right.
Holy fuck.
First try, too.
I'm going to fuck up so many intros in the next couple of weeks. And we appreciate you guys listening. And we're going to be back in 2 weeks with a new episode.
Yep.
That's about something.
It definitely will be about something.
You know what it's not going to be about? Because I will fucking leave.
More Galactus?
I cannot do any more Galactus.
Hey, it's that clip we play at the end of each episode.
Have you memorized it yet? You can say it along with us if you like.
If you like our stuff, when we talk to you and whatnot, and you want to support our plans for world domination, then we need you to enlist in Doom's army of disposable minions.
Yeah, uh-huh. So what does that mean in our actual real world?
Emails.
Right. We want to send you a weekly update about our recording schedule and hopefully other stuff like events or videos.
Plus, you get an exclusive bonus episode
featuring my wife.
My wife.
Oh, sweet Jesus Christ.
About the last 20 years of X-Men crossovers.
It really is the best way to let us know that you're listening.
And that you love us.
And I need to know that you love me. I need it. So go to our website, doombotspod.com.
That's Doom as in Dr. Doom, bots as in robots.
Because there are two of us.
Yes, and pod as in podcast.
And com, as in the internet communication, compliant, communism.
It stands for commercial, but whatever.
Oh, yes, okay.
Just enter your email and wahaha, you are Dooms. With your help, nothing can stop us.
Or him, because we are him. Because we're the two, but this meta narrative gets really confusing sometimes. Anyway, I kind of fucked that up. Should we say it again?
No. If you missed it, you have to wait till we play it again next episode.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, a preemptive thank you, but you can't redeem it until you do the thing.
Yeah, that's how redeeming things works.
Stay tuned for outtakes.
What outtakes, though?
Like the little fun, dumb clips at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And remember, all hail Galactus.
It's on
Galactus
it's on
is
our
in it.
spinny board.
Yes.
That we might be a segment that we do.
The wheel.
The wheel.
The wheel of segments.
We've had it for 5 years, and I just call it the spinny board because I'm very, very tired.
MCU cameo that we weren't expecting.
Oh, something. I hesitated saying it.
We don't want to spoil anything, but we might talk about.
We might talk about a character who has my favorite dumb name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can say Sasha Baron Sasha Baron.
Can we say it? We can say it. Sasha Magen Boom. I don't know that we can say it.
All right, so
Sachin Cohen Harbor.
So Borat is an Ironheart. Yes.
So Sasha Baron Cohen is in Ironheart, and he plays.
Oh, someone's in the kitchen with Dino. Someone's in the kitchen. I know. What? Why are old songs weird and dumb like that? Dinah. I thought that's what the song was. Dino.
The name Dinah.
I thought it was like a dinosaur, like
fucking what?
like Dino the Dino from Flintstones.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dino.
Dino.
Because it's someone's in the kitchen. I know.
Someone's in the kitchen.
But doesn't rhyme with someone's in the kitchen. I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dino. Someone's in the kitchen. I know.
I don't think.
I mean, I could be wrong.
No, not you could be wrong. You are definitively wrong. That's not part of this question. Why does it keep sending me to... I've been working on the railroad.
That might be that. It is that song. Yeah, that is that song. That's the bridge to I've been working on the railroad.
This is going to make you mad.
Okay.
The second verse also rhymes with Dino.
Okay.
It's someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, strumming on the old banjo. But see, because banjo and no rhyme, Dinah doesn't need to rhyme.
Yes.
I will, to your credit, also say Dinah is definitely not a name.
Well, it is.
No.
Dinah is the name of the baby mole in Mario RPG.
That does not make it a name. All the way, fuck you.
I mean, that's the only specific Dinah that I know of.
Dinah Shore.
Is that a person?
Yeah, it's an actress. But I will say that Dinah is not a common name. What the fuck is happening? I'm so tired.
Let's go to bed.